Awesome. So while the girls are shifting, and we're shifting gears here, our girls' ministry meets on Wednesday evenings in the house of Miss Nicole Abassier. Where are you, Miss Nicole? I don't see you. There you are. Hi, Miss Nicole. We actually have 7 leaders who rotate throughout Prims, Stars, and Friends Girls, and those are our different designations. We're super, super blessed to have a great team of ladies who donate their time and their gifts and their effort and their love to these girls. So, girls, why don't you give it up for your leaders? Awesome. All right, and without further ado, I am going to pass the mic over to Miss Amanda. Right here. Miss Amanda Barnes, we've got 2 of them.
Blessed now to have many leaders, but last year when we started, this was just something that we felt the pull and the need to do. For me, it's because I do have my own daughter who I wanted to have a place as she entered middle school that she would be able to go. But last year it was still elementary, but it was 5th grade. You know, that's still a tough year. And of course now it seems like I've adopted maybe like 30 kids? All girls. I'm a little iffy on that one. Hi, Addie. I love you. They all call me Mom, or a lot of them do. I'll walk down the hallway, I'll get a random hug, and I'll just take it because you're never going to say no to a hug. But when we did start this, it was me, Amanda, and Amy. And like Amy said, it was about 11 girls. And we just did everything we could. And it was a tough year because first year with the ministry, these girls were transitioning out of Royal Rangers. A lot of them had been in Royal Rangers because John Armstrong was kind enough to let the girls be part of that ministry, even though it was mostly a boys-only ministry. But we started there, and then we branched out because these girls needed a place of their own. So we did everything we could to try to pull these lessons together. And that really fell on Amanda Baz because she has the best organization skills out of all of us. I don't even know how she does it. I just listen to what she tells me to do, and it seems to work. But she really got us going, and then all of us just took our own skills, hey, what lesson do you feel comfortable doing? And hey, let's get these girls, taken care of. But last year with COVID, we did hit a lot of hiccups. We started here in the church, but it kind of got too much for the girls. They didn't want to always kind of feel like so confined. So we moved out to Amy's house, and that got a little crazy. But, because there was a couch and a TV and a big window. So try to get those girls kind of reeled in from all of that was getting a little tough. And then by the end of the year, we did the last few meetings in my house. And like I said, first service, I really kind of think this was done on purpose because those last lessons tended to be the messiest lessons. So I don't know why it fell on me, but we did cooking. Okay, just think about 11, 12 girls cooking a full dinner. I'm talking like salad all the way through dessert. And I have a trampoline outside, so then to get them to come back inside to finish the cleanup. I have to say they actually did a really good job, but there were a lot of potato peels around my house for a while, and I think I found like sprinkles for like 2 weeks. And then the other lovely project that we did, and I see you laughing because you know it, because you helped us with this, we made bath bombs. Yeah, in my house. I actually had a white tile floor. It's not white anymore. I think there's still some blue patches. And 2 of our lovely ladies, one, Brooke, and where's my Lauren? Oh, there she is. She's hiding back there. So their last name is technically Labassiere. Not anymore. It's Labassa Blue. Because by the end of it, it was seriously head to toe in blue. Yeah, they were a Smurf. I sent them home to Nicole and I said, I'm sorry. That's all. I mean, the bottoms of their feet were blue. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. But I do love them, and that's why I do this. I love every single one of these girls, even the ones that I've just met who have just come up to Prims. Some of them are already earning nicknames, right, Lily Pop? I just made her blush. I'm really good for the nicknames. It might be my way of remembering names or just because they just come to me. I will say your nickname when I call you up here. Knock it off. I'm getting eyes from Symphony in the front. The ones that are getting certificates, don't worry. They will be mentioned. But there's a couple that have given them their own nicknames that I don't use, but they do fit them. So we'll go over those as well. But these girls are crazy. So this year, like we said, we were blessed enough to pick up all of these leaders and able to spread out to all of these different groups without the involvement of Emma and Nicole and Jill and Jess, and I'm missing people because I'm getting nervous. Did I say Emma? I said Emma. I don't know. But between all of us and Therese, we now able to have our lovely pink, blue, and purple. Because Nicole was kind enough to let us have her home, so we do one group upstairs, one group down. We bring the friends here on Friday night. I don't suggest coming to the kids' church on a Friday night between 7 and 8:30. It's full of middle school girls. Yeah, my friend texted me last Friday, and I said, yeah, I'll talk to you in an hour. Because I was just like, it's middle school girls everywhere. But the Prims are doing their own lessons in one area, then you have the Stars doing their lessons. The Friends are tackling some tough ones sometimes. We started with attitude with middle school girls. I had the privilege of teaching attitude. Yeah, thanks. That was fun. I have a middle school girl. I kind of have experience on attitude. But that is where we started, and then, like I said, these girls are wonderful. They're all silly. But last year with those hiccups, we have the lovely Star Girls who started last year, who helped us start this program and get it going. They did a great job, but they didn't get honored as much as we would have liked to, and that is what I'm really up here for, is to honor those first girls. It ended up being 12 by the end of the year for Stars, who worked really hard through 9 different lessons. We had Bible survey, and for that one we actually were blessed with Ava Woods. She came and talked to our girls and told them how to study the Bible, so that was very cool. We did a friendship lesson. We had citizenship, how to be a good citizen in this country as it is. Grooming, because you know it's important to smell good. And comb your hair. You don't understand. If you don't have girls, you don't understand how hard it is sometimes to get them to comb their hair. Fitness. Charisse, you are a saint. She opened up the gym. She taught our girls a class. Yeah, they had fun. We didn't. But they had fun. They did a great job. I was really impressed. They actually womaned up, and did a great job. Like I said, we did cooking. We had intro to our church. They learned specifically about our church. Got to hang out and do an interview with Pastor Dave and Pastor Erin at their house with some s'mores and fire. So that's always a fun thing. We did prayer. We all know the importance of prayer in our life and how we want to teach them the right way to prayer, though there really is never a wrong way, but we did want to teach them that prayer is important. And of course, family, because that is what we all are. Whether we're related or not, we're all family, and that's what we wanted to teach them, that family is not blood relation, it's everybody. So we tried to have that lesson with them as well. We had great adventures. We went to Bojik's, did a corn maze. We got lost because we let the girls lead. We did get out, but they were just thinking about ice cream, so I think the ice cream was the motivation to get out. We built a scarecrow, really cool scarecrow it had a tutu and a crown. So it was a pretty cool scarecrow. We visited Old Stourbridge Village too, that was another fun one. We tried to do some great stuff with these girls, and it's all tied into their lessons, because each lesson has the lesson, then it has activity sheets that we work on, and then it has the project. So the 12 girls that I'm going to bring up one by one now to receive their certificates have each worked through and completed I don't think any of them were able to complete it all, and that's just because of COVID, not for them having lack of effort. But they really tried very hard to complete their units and get their badges. Now with COVID, there is that whole supply chain backup, so we can't actually have the badges. So we made them some certificates, so at least they're walking out of here with something until we get those, and then we'll just sew them on like crazy. So I am gonna start with Addison Barnett. Get up here, Addie. So Addison, AKA Crazy Ball, Crazy Jalapeno, and pretty much anything else with the word crazy. Right, girls? We agree on this? She's wonderful. She's fun. She's silly. She's smart. She knows her Bible, and she's always willing to volunteer to read a verse if you need her to. And let me turn this way a little bit. You can see exactly what she's earned her badges for. Bible survey, citizenship, grooming. That's a good one to get. She got her outdoor adventure badge and her professional badge. The STARS emblem badge, which is simply showing up. Thank you for coming to your meetings and working hard. And then she got the professional pin as well. So clap for Addie here. As she takes her bow. Yay, Addie! All right, next we have the lovely Alana Barnes. You should see the look I'm getting. All right, Alana is quiet, but she is smart and she is independent. And there's other words that we could use. I'm just going to go ahead and say it how it is. She's stubborn. She's strong-willed, to put it positive, but it's not a bad thing. She works hard. She gets what she needs done. And obviously, she did a great job. 4 of the units she got her badges for. She got 2 of the outdoor adventures. Of course, she got her STARS emblem, and she also got her pin. So good job, Alana. She's a little shy, in case you couldn't tell. All right, who do we got next? We've got Annabella White. Bella. Bella is another one of our quiet ones. Not like so completely shy that she won't get involved. She's always really good working with the other girls, very friendly. And when she does talk, you better listen. She's got some stuff coming out of there that's really important to hear, and she knows what's going on. She did a great job with her badges. As you can see, she got the Bible survey badge, professional. Some of the meetings are harder to get to, so we do the best that they can, and they have to do some of the work at home, and you know how life gets, but she did an awesome job, and she tried as hard as she could on everything. She did great. Thank you, Bella. Brooke Labasa Blue. Brookie Cookie. I yell Brookie Cookie all the time. That's just her name. She got her friendship badge, which is actually really appropriate. She's a great friend. She will watch out for all of her friends. She'll take care of you. It'll be crazy fun, but she will take care of you. She did all of the adventure badges with us. She was going crazy. I think she might be part of the reason we got lost in the corn maze. She's always there at her meetings. Now she's even stepped up because she is a friend now. She's moved up to the middle school. So now she even comes to the meetings and helps the Stars and Prims and is a junior leader. So she has stepped up to that as well. And all of our friends girls have that opportunity to do that. It just depends on schedule. So great job, Brooke. Brinley. Come on this side. You go on that side, Bryn. Resident cat lady is what I call her because she's got all these cutest like cat stuff. She had this one, was it a space cat? I think it was a space cat sweatshirt.
Space cat.
Yeah, space cat sweatshirt. It was so cool. I think we all just wanted to steal it, but it wouldn't fit us. She's also a lot of fun and a lot of the whole crazy thing. I'm telling you, you're going to hear that word a lot because they all have their own version of crazy, which is so much fun. It makes it for a really entertaining night. She works really hard, asks a lot of great questions, and always gets you laughing. So great job, Brinley. Charlotte Walker, Meeper. I don't even know where Meeper came from. Meeper may not be a word, but I've decided that it is, and she has a meepable nose. I meep her nose. She may hate it, but she's never told me to stop, so I just keep doing it. She deals with it. And now we have 2 Charlottes, so I actually really need to call her Meeper, or else I'm going to get confused. Obviously, she did a great job. She really, really knows her Bible as well, and she works hard. She's a little quiet when it comes to saying her memory verses. Once you get her saying them, though, you'll get every single word right, and she'll know exactly where they came from. Great job, Meeper. I don't want to mess up your last name. Isabella Krozik, come on up here. Come on up here, Izzy. This picture is Izzy. I mean, seriously. She came a little later, so we didn't have the actual profile picture, but this is actually even better. It really is, because it's her. She's fun, she's silly, she's smart. And she wants to be older than she is. She really keeps asking the older questions. She wants to move up there and be I see a nod. We're getting a nod. Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with parents on this one. But it's not a bad thing. Now she's a star, and her sister's a prim, and she watches out for her sister like crazy, and it's awesome. And she also has her nickname. She's Izzy Busy, because she is busy all the time. Great job, Izzy. My second Labasa Blue, Lauren. Another one of our more quiet girls, though once you get her going, you can't get her to stop. She will get crazy on you, but she takes a little while to warm up. She's a little more shy than the other Lavassiere, but that's actually a really good thing because that makes her special. I mean, she really is very special and very sweet, and I love her. And she's one of the ones that just walks up and gives you hugs, works really hard. I'm going to work on her organizational skills, but she's getting there, and she's doing an awesome job. And she also really helps us at our STARS meetings now, because now she's an expert star. She's in her second year of it, and she is just rocking it out like crazy. Good job, Lauren. Second daughter, Liliana Vasconcelos. I just have fun saying last name. This is the first girl here, besides my own, to call me mom. So this is I'm mom number 2, and Amy's okay with it, I think. Yeah, we're good. She has mine too, because mine calls her mom. So we just share the kids. It actually really works. Lily is another one with great knowledge of the Bible, great work helping everybody else out. She will step in. We had to do citizenship unit, and the girls had to learn a song, like God Bless America or something like that. And a lot of them were too shy to sing. And I didn't think Lily would sing because she usually is shy, but she stepped in there, she grabbed those girls, she said, come on, I'll help you sing these songs. And she really helped a lot of those girls get that part, so I'm really proud of her. She did a great job, and great job, Lily. I love you. Maya Hinkle. So first of all, I have to say, Maya just moved up to Friends. We unfortunately did not have friend shirts yet because they are on back order and it is our newer group. But Maya did not let that stop her. She made her own. Maya is our craft girl. If there's a lesson that involves crafts, Maya is in. She is all about it. She will get all the materials. She will do everybody else's crafts if you let her. She just wants to do the crafts, and she makes beautiful things and is super talented. And she worked really hard. She actually went away for a month in May, so she missed some of the lessons. She knocked them all out. She came back and made up that time and cooked at home, did a family night at home, and sent us the pictures. So she did an awesome job, and I'm super proud of her. And she is also one of our girls that is now helping a lot out because her sister, Helena, is in Prims. So she helps out with Prims as well. She's an amazing, smart girl. So thank you, Maya. I don't want to say it. Symphony, Butterbond Shriekins. Did I get it? I just learned this today, I'm sorry. Symphony Muscolino, Butterbond Shriekins is what I was supposed to call her. I don't even know why. I don't want to ask. If anybody knows, maybe you can share with me later. She was one of our last add-ons for STARS. So she did come in late, missed a lot of the first units, but when she came in, she dived right in, worked really hard, always showed up with her Bible, showed up with her spirit, and it's always really fun. I thought she was quiet when she first showed up, because she didn't say much, and then I was proven very wrong. Obviously, with Butterbond Shriekins here, a great add-on, and she's doing her second year of STARS now, so I know everything that she couldn't do before is going to be made up right now, and she's going to rock it all out. So great job. Last but not least, Vivian Girton. Who wants me to call her Viviana? So obviously Vivian is still wearing blue, so she's another one of our second year STARS. So she is also helping her sisters Hazel and Ivy, who are in Prim, so she's another great add-on. It's great to have the second year STARS kind of going through it again, because they've done it, they suffered through the first year with us, and now they're helping us do it even better this year. We really couldn't do it without them. She did an amazing job. She didn't start right away with us, but once she did, she just kind of knocked it all out. And another one that really knows her Bible and is always willing to read. So thank you so much. So like I said, those girls will receive all of their badges and they will be given to them, and then they'll be able to continue to work on more. So the next time we have this kind of service, there's going to be a whole lot more girls up here receiving a whole lot of badges. And our friends are going to be working on necklaces. They get charms for the lessons that they do. So they're all working very hard. I'm so proud of these girls. It's a lot of time and a lot of energy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, because I really have had more of a family than I ever thought I would need, and more daughters than I'd ever thought I'd want. I do want to recognize that some of them didn't get to come up here that are new to our program, and I'm so glad you guys have joined us, and I really can't wait to see what is coming down the path for you guys. I love you all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Good morning, church. Round 2. If you were here for the first one, you're going to love this one. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to the worship team, because Amy and Alex and everybody up there really put a lot of time into learning Honor You. And it's really amazing. They actually made the song better. I liked it so much better. But these girls worked really hard learning that song, and I'm just really appreciative of that. So there's someone here that I really want to recognize today that they have no idea I'm going to do this. So they're going to get really embarrassed, and I think it's pretty funny. This person is somebody who has really stepped up in an amazing capacity. I can't even tell you how proud I am of this person. It started where I met her several years back when she moved here from Missouri. And what she didn't realize was the first time I met her was at a G-Teens meeting, and that was totally out of my element. I had been used to being with the smaller kids, and middle school, high school, I'm like, a little intimidating, they know more. And so I was like, here's Miss Jess, and Jess says to me, I'm really just new here, and I'm trying to just kind of fit in. I didn't feel very welcomed where I came from. And that broke my heart. And what she didn't realize was I kind of felt a little out of my element too. That made me want to come back. And what she also doesn't know is that I like hugs here and there, but I'm not a big hugger. Go ahead, Steph. So, every Wednesday night after a meeting, Miss Jess will pull me in for a selfie when I'm least expecting it. And the first time I was like, whoa, like what's happening right now? And you can see I'm visibly getting more comfortable as time goes. Because sometimes they're long hugs, and I'm like, I don't have the heart to tell this girl that it's a little too much sometimes. But now I look forward to them. And I really got to bond with Jess this year at camp. We went to summer camp, and she was horrified. She was like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, you're doing it. You're going to be fine. You're going to camp. And she went to camp, and she got sick. And I was like, oh boy, this girl's going to hate me. I made her go, and now she's sick. But she prevailed. And I am just so proud. When we're at these types of services with young adults and kids, they ask you what your next step is, and they ask you if you'll accept God. And here's Jess, she's bawling her eyes out, and I'm like, so confused, because Jess was already really walking with God. And we said, Jess, what's your next step? And she said, I have to do this. I want to rededicate myself to Jesus. And that's hard. That's a really hard thing to say. And it's a really hard thing to actually follow through and do. And she did it. And that's why I have to share that with her and all of you, because it's amazing to see the growth and what takes place when someone's really invested in Jesus and when you're really invested in a child or a young adult. I have been struggling with my own issues, and Jess ministers to me. And she sent me this last week, and she said, I hope you like the collage I made, because I know that you're going through a hard time, and I thought this might make you happy. And so, Jess, I just want to tell you how proud I am of you, and how grateful I am that you have become the young adult that you are, and I foresee you doing some amazing things in this community, in this church, with your peers, with all our girls, and I just love you so much. And so now to today's message. We are going to talk about Jesus' legacy. And when Amy told me, we're going to carry on, Pastor Dave is doing a new series. He's doing the legacy of Christ. I was like, okay. Whoa! Cried my eyes out. Rich is looking at me, my husband. He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Like, you can't put Jesus in a box. Like, what does that even mean? Jesus has done everything. He's everything. How do you really talk about Jesus? Like, that's like the highest thing you could ever talk about. Highest person, highest being. So I was like, all right, pray about it. Take it down a notch, Amanda. And so I tried to define what Jesus' legacy really is. And it was about forgiveness and salvation, kindness, sincere humbleness, and perfect love. And I really read about each of these components of what Jesus did. And when I got to perfect love, there was something so amazing that spoke to my heart that I said, this is the topic that I want to talk about today. And so I started by going to the dictionary, and I said, let me define what perfection is. Let me define what love is. Let's start there. And so love is an intense feeling of deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something, feel deep affection for someone, and like or enjoy something very much. Perfection, having no mistakes or flaws, completely correct or accurate, having all the qualities you want in that kind of a person, a situation, etc., in purity. And when you put them together, you really think about it, an intense love or affection for someone that has no mistake or flaws. That's pretty incredible. And so I found that Psalm 36 really described what Jesus' love looks like. Jesus' love is faithful. Your faithfulness reaches beyond the clouds. Jesus was carrying out his Father's will. You can't get more faithful than that. Here is a man that knew he was going to be put to death, and he remained faithful to his Father because he knew that was God's plan. Jesus' love is righteous. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains. Scripture says this, Jeremiah 33:15, I will cause a righteous branch of David to spring forth. It's declared, you see it right there in Jeremiah, Jesus was born righteous. He didn't just become righteous, he was righteous already. Always is. Justice. Your justice like the ocean depths, giving justice to those with honest hearts. God sets the standards for justice. If we're pursuing biblical justice, then it means that we're looking at our Bible, we're looking at Scripture to really see what's defined as right and what's defined as wrong. It's not for us to decide, it's God defines that. And so Jesus dying on the cross for us, him being faithful to that, is the reason that we can be justified by God. Jesus' love is caring. You care for people and animals alike. Matthew 25:32, he will separate the people one from another as the shepherd separates sheep from the goats. We see in Luke the parable of the great banquet. Here's Jesus having dinner at a prominent Pharisee's house, and he's looking around, And he sees all of these wealthy individuals, and he's thinking, and he says to them, well, where are the poor people? Why are you not including all? You know, it's something we need to do as a society. We really need to welcome our brothers and sisters and not segregate based on our distinct, comfortable groups that we're in. Jesus' love is precious. We love you, Miss Ava. It was her birthday. How precious is Jesus' unfailing love? Protects. All humanity finds shelter in the shadow of your wings, protection from the proud trampling on you or the wicked pushing you around. God protects us from the enemy. The evil one cannot touch a child of God. His weapons, they're useless against us. The gates of hell, they're not going to prevail against the kingdom of God. Because we, as a church and as a community, we're citizens of heaven. We're not citizens of this earth. We are protected from anything that's going to be thrown our way, and it's going to be thrown our way. We're going to face it. We're going to get attacked. Psalm 91, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Jesus' love is giving. You feed them from the abundance of your own house. Fountain of life. The light by which we see. Psalm 36:9, for with you is the fountain of life, in your light we see. Proverbs 10:11, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life. Proverbs 13:14, the teaching of the wise is a fountain of life. Proverbs 14:27, the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, that one may avoid the snares of death. Jesus is your life. Over and over and over again, we see it in the Bible. Jesus is the fountain of life. We don't die when we have Jesus. His love creates warriors, throwing down evil, never to rise again. 1 Corinthians 13:4 says Jesus' love is patient. It's kind. I just love these girls so much. It's not jealous. It's not boastful. It's not proud. I was having a really rough day that day. I thought those bottles were never going to end. His love is not rude. It does not demand its own way. It's not irritable. She's being me right there. That's my quote. It keeps no record of being wrong. It doesn't rejoice about injustice, but it rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. It never loses faith. It's always hopeful. And it endures through every circumstance. Jesus' love is patient. 1 Peter 2:23 shows us that Jesus did not retaliate. He was patient. He left retaliation in the hands of God. He didn't take matters into his own hands. Endurance. James 1:4, so let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete and not lacking of anything. Looking at Christ's life, he came into this world, which was made through him, and the world didn't even recognize him. He came to his own people, and they didn't even receive him. They rejected him. He was threatened. His family didn't believe him. The religious leaders of the day did not believe him. And his disciples, they were slow to believe him. And he knew that one of them would betray him. He knew that one would deny knowing him. And with all that, he carried on. He casted demons. He performed miracles. He prayed. He taught. He was hungry. He had no time alone. People were following him all the time. And yet he kept persevering, knowing that he was going to be put to death. One of the biggest elements of Christ's love is no fear. And that really spoke to me. 1 John 4:18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. 2 Timothy 1:7, for God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. We control our thoughts, we control our fears. And as Christians, we testify that God sent Jesus, his only son, his one and only son, to be our Savior. And when you accept that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in you and you live in God. We rely on God's love. We need God's love to thrive. This love that God gives us, it gives us confidence on the day that we're going to face judgment. In this world, we're in human form, just like Jesus was. This is temporary. And this proves that there's no fear in love, because that love drives out fear, because we associate that with punishment. Psalm 107:6. Lord, help. They cried in their trouble, and he rescued them from their distress. He led them straight to safety. To a city where they could live. Book of Romans, chapter 8. You can't let fear overtake you. The definition of perfect love is Jesus. Simple as that. 1 John 4:17. This is how love is made complete among us, so that we will have confidence on the day of judgment. In this world, we are like Jesus. We're not perfect because of sin, but God chose each one of us because his love is perfect. God wrapped in human flesh, going any length to save. There's just no traces of doubt when you've got the Holy Spirit. There's no doubt. Because fear can't exist in its presence. It scatters like darkness, shattered by light. We don't have to be perfect because of his grace, because he never gives up on us. Church, I really got to know Jesus more by really preparing this for you today. And there's been a lot on my heart. There's been a lot going on in this world where I just feel really sad, and it's really helped me to pray more and more, because that's all we have right now is God. I see division amongst different groups of people right now. I see division based on income status. I see division based on race. I see division based on political parties. I see government overreach. I see hatred going on in the streets and the cities. I see mothers not inviting their son over for Thanksgiving dinner. I see a sister who can't get a hug from her brother because of fear. And it breaks my heart, because I know all of you have probably come across something in your life that you can relate to. The reason that, myself and Amanda and Amy and Jess and Jill and Emma and all of our wonderful teachers that have joined us, the reason that we work as a team to pour into these girls is because if we don't change the future, it's never going to be any different. We have to teach these kids what it's like to follow Christ. We have to teach children how to welcome their peers. When we have a new child come in, we are constantly like, you welcome them like you knew them for 10 years, because that's what you do. And that's what we're raising them to do in a society, to build them up as strong women leaders. And, at the first service, Amy really talked about how this program really came about because of the Royal Rangers. And, I was really glad that she said that, because John Armstrong, he really made life come to that boys program. It's pretty amazing to see the work that John did with Rich and Brian, Alex, Trisha, so many people got involved to make that vision grow, and the girls program was able to stem from that program. And it's amazing to see the two groups parallel, walking side by side each other on different paths, but with the same goal. I encourage you, if you have a child that is interested in joining one of our programs, it will be the biggest blessing in your life. These young men and young girls, they're future moms and dads of America. They are future ministers, they're future missionaries, they're future business leaders, and we need them to change the world because it's just getting worse. I am tired of seeing cities burned down and buildings vandalized and people protesting and people just being hatred towards each other. I'm speaking from the heart right now. It's something that's so devastating to watch, because what this is the enemy working to destroy God's creation. This isn't about one person or one leader controlling everything. This is a spiritual attack. We have people that are not in line with God's vision or mission, and the spiritual forces are aligning against Christians. And we need to band together, and we need to pray like we have never prayed before. We need to encourage each other. We need to build each other up. We need to be great parents and great friends and great leaders. And all we do is have to be the best that we can be based on what the Bible tells us is right or wrong. It's that simple. I faced so many attacks this week alone just trying to get this message. And instead of feeling defeated, there was a point where I said, I don't think I can handle much more. But I started to look at the little blessings that were occurring, because I knew that I was doing something right. I said, if I'm getting attacked this much, then I'm on fire. This is great. This will be good. I'm doing a good job. Okay, I got this. My rooster died, but God sent me one of my chickens that flew away 3 weeks ago. It came back. So I was like, well, I lost a bird that I loved, but this one found its way home. Don't know where it was living, but it's back. I had a very difficult episode with a gentleman who had some road rage this week, who started following me around and threatened me at a gas station, which was very scary. And so that's the kind of world we're living in the middle of, trying to get all this together. my computer battery started to burn, and the whole computer shut down, and I was frazzled and trying to make everything work, and I didn't know how I was going to do this. And then I went out with some good friends who really helped me take a break, had a great time, and when I got home, that battery was fully charged, and that computer worked just fine. My job's been on the line, and I've been fighting for my job since July. And I'm sticking by my faith, and I'm walking, aligning with God, and I just keep praying every day. Every day I go in, and I said, I'm just praying for strength, Lord. It's your will, not mine. I'm not praying to keep my job. I'm not praying for a specific outcome. I am just praying that you lead me where I'm supposed to go, and that I'm going to carry out the mission that you've assigned for me. You just tell me what it is, and I'm going to do it. My boss has interviewed people while I'm still employed. Heartbreaking. You know, a lot of times I do go in the bathroom and I cry. And I say, I know, I'm a big baby, I gotta stop crying. And then my husband, you know, I'm so proud of him. You know, this is a girl service, but I'm gonna do this. My husband has been my rock. That is a man that has really been stepping up to the plate and living like Christ. He said to me, you know what, I know that this is the hardest thing that you've had to go through, and I'm going to be your rock. And I'm going to stand by you, and I'm going to do whatever it needs. I'm just going to be there. And he has been. And if you've seen any of the Royal Ranger videos that were posted yesterday with the rockets, here's a man that was like, I'm sorry to interrupt your sermon, but can you look at my rocket? And he's like, I have a little Lego spaceman in there, and it looks just like John Armstrong. And they launched that rocket, and they don't even know where it went. He came home, he's like, babe, that rocket's never coming back. But what really made my heart so proud was I saw the pictures of him and Bentley. And I saw the love that he was pouring out on that child, and I saw the love that that child was returning to him. And they have a special bond that just makes my heart sing. I can't even tell you. He has really taken a liking to that boy, and he goes to his house once a week to play Legos with him. I really think it's because he likes to do that, but he says it's for Bentley, I don't know. And so, you know, before I close, I want to thank you for really investing your time today to come here and to really listen to hear about our program and about what we do. And, you know, there's definitely ways that you can help. If you want to serve as a leader, we would love to have you. If you have a special skill, as you can see, we have so many wonderful ladies. Miss Charisse, you know, opening up her gym, and Miss Jen is not a children's person. Mr. Marco loves kids. But they packed up all their stuff and they said, you know what, I'm going to be there for you, and we're going to make sure that your vendor fair is such a success. And so Miss Ava joining us, and Miss Becky, and everyone had special gifts. And so when somebody has a special gift, we love to hear what it is, and then we either stalk you till you say yes, or we just are hopeful that you'll say, hey, I really love to do cooking. Would your girls like to have a cooking thing with us, or a tea party, or a lesson of some kind? You know, we're open to anything, and our girls just love to get involved in everything. And, you know, even if it's, you know, maybe you have an activity that you really enjoy, like, they are up for it. You know, you can sponsor a girl. We always, you know, appreciate that because it costs a lot of money. You see, we have 30 of them to plan outings and stuff like that, you know, and supplies. But really just getting to know our girls will be such a blessing for you. And before we close out, I just want to end in prayer. Lord, I am forever grateful that I was able to stand in front of this church today, that the people here had enough confidence in me to hear the word that you put on my heart. And I pray for a shift in the world, Lord. I pray for that division to end. I pray for love to take over this country, to take over this world. I breathe life and safety over our missionaries. I pray life over all of you. I pray for a change. I pray for the enemy to just be shriveled up, to be dust, to just be abolished. That there's no place for that enemy here. There's only a place for love. And I'm so grateful for that, Lord. I'm grateful for the life you've given me. I'm grateful for sending me to this church. I'm grateful for every person that's sitting in all of these seats. And I pray protection over each one of them. And I pray for wisdom over each one of you. And I pray for a healing heart and for your ailments to be relieved. And I just pray that Jesus' love has no bounds on anyone. I pray for the world. I pray for all the children that don't have a warm coat to wear. I pray for the children that have no food in their bellies. I pray for the children that need someone to love them. And I pray that there's a change and that it comes in your time, Lord, when you say it's going to shift, but I feel it coming. And we're just so honored to have you in our lives. We're honored that God chose us to be an example to everyone in our community, in our families, and our neighborhoods. In Jesus' name I pray. I just love each and every one of you, and I love your children so much. And, you know, sometimes we see a bad situation and it can really make us feel defeated. But you have to try to just pull out the blessings that you can just grab onto. You know, I shared an example in the first service that there's a friend of mine. He works with me, and he's a retired policeman. And he's a little rough around the edges, but I love him dearly. Miss Amanda got to meet him. Miss Amy got to meet him. But I prayed one day on my way in, and I said, Lord, if my situation can just change one person there's heart, then I will be forever grateful. And that day, he walked into my office. I'm going to say that he had a tear in his eye, even though he's going to really be mad at me for saying this, because he's going to watch it later and he's going to yell at me, but that's okay. But he said, Amanda, I've been praying for you. And this is really out of my comfort zone. It's not something that I do. And I don't know how long I can keep doing it for, but I'm trying. And I said, that made everything better. That God heard me, and he recognized that. You know, God will leave us little breadcrumbs sometimes. You know, I felt so defeated one day. I was just crying, and I'm like, okay, compose myself, I gotta get in there. And I start walking in, and I'm like, God, just give me a sign that I'm gonna be strong today and that I'm gonna make it through. And I look down on the step as I'm walking up, and there's a pin there, and I took it home with me. It was a lamb. And that made my whole day just shine. It's the little things that you can just really fixate on that can speak to your heart to get through a difficult situation. And so I leave you with that, really thinking about what God's love looks like and how you can disciple someone else and how you can share that love, and you'll be blessed. You will be blessed more than you possibly ever know, because that love will return to you tenfold. Thank you, church.
Hey, Pastor Dave here. Just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube channel. Make sure if you want to stay up to speed with all the videos that we're going to post in the future, you subscribe to our channel and share it, get the word out to everybody. Lastly, make sure you go to our website. We have our DNA there, everything the church is about here at Glad Tidings Community Church, and all the different ministries that we offer. You can go to www.gtcc.church. Again, thanks for tuning in. God bless you.